Hi everyone. Did you know that your body contains about 60% of water? My name is Erna, and for this week's video, we're going to be talking about water and water balance. So let's dive in. Water is very important in the human life. It's very essential for humans to drink water in order to survive. Water makes up about 60% of the human weight of an adult human weight. In this video, we're going to talk about the functions of water, the how much water we're supposed to consume, and also we'll talk about the effect of not drinking enough water. We'll also talk about how beverages have influenced the function of water in our body. So, what is the function of water in the human body? Water is very important. It plays a very important role in the human body. Water makes up about 60% of an adult weight, as we earlier mentioned. So water is very vital for our human organs. For instance, water in the human lungs make up about 83% of water. 80% make of water contains its 80% of the brain is made out of water, and about 73% of the heart composes of water, and our skin has about 60% of water. So you can see we cannot overemphasize the importance of water in the human body. Water also helps in regulating the body's internal temperature. It works by producing sweat when our internal organs or internal temperature is extremely high. We start sweating in order to relieve the temperature inside. It also helps in the breathing process. So as we breathe in and breathe out, the water inside of us humidifies the air, and then we breathe it out as vapor. So water also, it's important, the function of water in the human body. It also helps in flushing unwanted waste. So water, when we drink water, it absorbs the body absorbs the nutrients, and then it sends out the unwanted waste through urination. The kidney filters it, and then we urinate it. Another important function of water is water helps in lubricating our joints. So the joints has what is called the synovial fluid, which helps the bone not to touch each other. So this is how important water is in lubricating our joints. According to an article written by USCGS in 2019, water is very important also in producing saliva. It helps lubricate the eye. Water also helps as shock absorber for the brain, the spinal cord, and the fetus, or when a woman is pregnant as well. So this tells us how important and essential water is to the human system. What amount of water should an average adult consume? So do you think you drink enough water? According to the CDC, the total amount of water intake can be defined as the amount of water consumed from food, plain drinking water, and other beverages. So the total amount of water varies by age, by sex, pregnancy, and breastfeeding status. So, in an article written in 2020 by Mayo Clinic, they recommended that an adult male should consume about 15.5 cups of fluid per day. So a total of 3.7 liters of water of fluid should be consumed per day. Meanwhile, they also recommended that an adult woman should consume approximately about 11.5 cups of water, which is a total of 2.7 liters of fluid per day. So this fluid intake will include can be gotten from food and other beverages, plain water, and other fluid sources. So we'll move on to the next slide, where we'll talk about how we consume water and the different foods and beverages which includes water, which contains fluid. So, we consume water from different sources through food and through some hydration food. So, some of the hydration food that we eat that contain water, surprisingly, I was surprised by the fact that watermelon contains 92% of water. And also, we have strawberries that contain 91% of water. We have cucumber, peaches, cantaloupe, oranges, and also food like broth and soup and zucchini, yogurt and tomatoes as well contain huge amount of water fluid. So, in an article written by Sarah Jarvis in 2018, fluid also can be taken from non-alcoholic sources like tea and coffee and fruit. So, in this article, she mentioned that alcohol is not considered as a source of fluid intake because it causes dehydration. That is, alcohol is a diuretic. It causes us to pee more rather than hydrate us. So what are some of not drinking enough water? How can water affect the body if we how can not drinking enough water affect the body? This affects the body in different ways. We cannot overemphasize on the importance of drinking water. Insufficient drinking of water or fluid can cause dehydration, which in turn can affect the body in different ways. Insufficient intake of water may cause us to have low energy and feel so tired. In an article written by Asodora Bambuem in 2022, he mentioned that lack of water will make us experience mental fog. That is to say, 80% of the brain contains water, and you not having enough water makes you feel foggy and spaced out and causes the brain to be dehydrated. Insufficient of intake of water or fluid can cause make you to be at risk of stroke, slow metabolism, and can also increase the rate at the rate in which you eat because you're dehydrated and the body senses that you need more fluid, but then you get to eat more because you're dehydrated. Also, insufficient intake of water causes skin damage. It causes your skin to be dry. In the next slide, we're going to talk about how our beverage choices has influenced the function of water in our body. Um, we have been consuming a lot of energy drinks, sport drinks, and all that stuff. So we want to make sure that the consumption of healthy beverages should influence the function of water in our body. According to CDC, some healthy beverage choices include plain coffee without cream and plain sugar and sparkling water. CDC in this article reading in 2022 also talked about how Sizzler and flavored water, fruit and vegetable juice contain important nutrients like potassium, vitamin D, and calcium, and those ones should be highly encouraged to drink. It also talked about us to avoid sugary drinks and beverages such as soda, refined sugar, refined fruit juice, and sport drinks, as these drinks contain more calories and have very little nutritional value. These sugary drinks as well increases our risk of becoming diabetic type 2 and also risk of heart diseases and obesity. And they also recommend us to avoid those sugary drinks. In conclusion, after looking at the importance of water, we can conclude that water is very important and we can consume water in different ways in order for us to stay hydrated. And it is safe to say that water helps the proper functioning of the human system. It is like the oil that runs the human ship that include the heart, the eyes, the joint, the muscle, and internal organs. Without enough water, the human ship will eventually sink and it and all its organs are gonna die slowly. When we feel thirsty, we are already dehydrated, which it is recommended that we carry a bottle of water to remind us to drink water as often as possible. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope we we did learn how to stay hydrated and to drink more water, and the importance of staying hydrated.